We'd like to introduce a topic this week on safeguards in meditation practice.
So the mainstream media, the ones we know about are NPR and The Atlantic, and along with podcasts are surfacing about this term, and they call it, and we're going to call it meditation sickness.
And it was actually, I think, the name of the workshop that Nelly and I took from Barry Center of Buddhist Studies. And the gentleman who taught the workshop, Pierce Salguero, he's a scholar who's been studying this for many years. And you can go to BCBS, their website, if you wanted to look at the information about this workshop.
In fact, you can listen to the whole workshop. It's recorded and it's free, although
Great.
you can offer Dana to them, but it's up on the website, their website.
Yeah. But in his research, meditation sickness has been in existence since the time of the Buddha and throughout many Asian traditions. This is not a current Western modern phenomenon. It's something that he's studied in detail and has done quite a bit of research on.
And is about to publish, well, not about, in 2025,
Yeah.
publishing a book that will actually be free because online. So, but he's a scholar, so it's coming from that angle.
Right. And from that angle of listening to this, listening to other podcasts, and really seeing that it's coming up now, even though it's been going on for centuries, it's now starting to be talked about. We're interested in how our practice, how reflective meditation has some safeguards in place for meditation sickness. And what are those safeguards? And we'd like to talk about them this week during the online sessions.
So here's a clear thing that's come out, which is not necessarily what I was taught. More meditation is not necessarily better. In fact, it can cause harm. And in fact, that actually is often the prescription that teachers give if students are having adverse side effects from meditation. You just need to meditate more, go back to the cushion.
Right, right. And it's interesting that I think even doctors will tell their patients to meditate, various types of doctors. And then if it's not working, they may say, keep trying. So this kind of just keep doing more. It's a good thing. It's a good thing no matter what. Seems to be pretty ensconced in the profession and field of medical meditation. Would you call it medical meditation, but also spiritual and religious traditions?
And, it is like, this is a thing that happens commonly, which is something gets elevated as a panacea. And then you start to see, well, guess what? It's more complex than that. It's got some difficulties, but we're not saying most people have this. In fact, most people have great benefits from meditation, Linda and I included. But we also listened to another podcast by Willoughby Britton, and her research shows, and she's been researching this for a long time, that 1 out of 10 people have adverse side effects from meditation. So, the minority,
Right.
but a significant minority.
Right. And those adverse effects are somewhat lighter in some cases, but then extreme in other cases. And the podcast is called When Meditation Goes Wrong. And it's something I would really recommend people listening to. She has been studying this for years and with a lot of opposition in the Buddhist field. In fact, most Buddhist teachers would say we don't have to worry about this too much because it is such a minority. But now we're saying, well, 1 out of 10 is not rare. It's actually studyable. It's happening.
And not only studyable or being studied, but really something we need to attend to. And one thing that Pierce Alguero also said was that most Buddhist teachers are blowing it off. They're saying, that's, that's not
Yeah.
important.
Don't worry about it too much. That's, the direct quote. So
So we're of the other ilk, aren't we?
we
We
are.
want to bring it to the forefront and talk about it.
Right, right, right. And I'm going to read this paragraph from another source. And this is a woman, her name is Madison Marriage, and she did a podcast about intensive meditation retreats because that's really an area where it's much more likely to go wrong, is in intense practice. Okay, so this is a quote from the NPR article, actually. Meditation and mindfulness have many known health benefits, including helping to process trauma, manage anxiety, improving eating habits, easing chronic pain. And talking about intensive retreats, while many participants say Goenka retreats, that's the study from the podcast, changed their lives for the better, the Retreat podcast tells stories of individuals whose mental health deteriorated during a 10-day retreat, or for some, after multiple 10-day retreats. Some spent time in psychiatric units, and two participants whose families that Madison Marriage spoke with took their own lives.
So, because of the study that Linda and I have been doing, we've really been looking back upon our intense meditation experience because we've each had quite a bit of it. And yeah, realized that we also experienced some adverse side effects along with great benefits. And we were reflecting on how reflective meditation is putting some safeguards into place and actually learning from experience, putting more safeguards, changing things as we go along the way.
The other day, we were talking a bit about um, reflective meditation being a softer, gentler approach to meditation. And it softens some of the harsh teachings or idealistic teachings or really teachings that you have to strive to reach. They're beyond your experience. So that has been a lot of the way we've informed ourselves and trying to have a type of informed consent for people who come into our practice, that it is going to be a softer, gentler approach, that we are going to be looking at idealizations and our own narratives and views, and that in a sense puts a person into their own experience and into what matters to them. Their goals for meditation might be very different than ours, and each person will have different goals and agendas during practice.
Well, Linda, that's a lovely point to end the talk.
Okay. So I'll ring the bells today.